Hi guys, Andrea Mills here. Today I'm going to give you a tour of Tom's office. We have a home-based business. Tom fixes computers for a living, and we've been doing this for I think 11 years now. Before that we ran a Christian school together for a couple of years, and then when we ended up leaving our church, and we had to leave that job behind also, which was a very sad, hard time for us. But that is when we started homeschooling, or we decided to homeschool. We didn't have any kids school age yet at that point, but we decided to homeschool. And then when we were trying to decide what to do for a job, we ended up starting our own business. And that's something that Tom had been going to school for, kind of off and on, doing computer repairs, and so he'd help people around town a little bit, but it wasn't something that he was really doing in a very professional way up to that point. But we were very poor at the time, and he made flyers and just went around town and, you know, started letting people know he was offering these services, and, you know, just went from there. Eventually we were supporting ourselves. That's the only income we had. We had some savings. That's what we lived on until he was making enough to support us with that. Thankfully, the first month our savings ran out was the first month he made enough money to pay the bills without it. So it all worked out. It's all in God's hands. We had talked about whether or not to have a separate store for his business, and we decided it would be best for him to stay home so that it would be more financially doable for us. If we had had a separate place of business, we would have had to, you know, pay all utilities for that and rent or whatever, and hire an employee to be there when he had to be out. So having the business run out of our house means that I could help customers when he was out doing appointments, and of course we already had the house, so there was not any extra cost involved with having the business. So I think, I want to say it was like 7 years ago, I'm not sure, we had to get our basement repaired, and at that time we dug out the basement, and cars keep going by. We dug out the basement and made it into a walkout basement, and that gave us an actual separate entrance for the store and a big window, so that, you know, it's not like you're going into a cave. It's funny because when we were younger, when I was young, I used to watch that show, The Facts of Life, and at some point they turned their garage into like a novelty store kind of a thing, and I was like, that is awesome. I would love to have a business like that in my house. And so now here we are, all these years later, we have a little store in our house. I can't think if there's anything else to tell you about it before I get started, so I guess we will just go look inside. I'll give you a look at the front here before we go in. Okay, so here is the entrance to his office. We have a door here with an open sign, and that's a window there into his office. And we put this awning up above just his store to kind of set it apart from the rest of the house and make it just kind of stand out for when customers are looking for us. We can always tell them to look for this awning, and then they're like, oh, there it is. So it was just kind of, just to give it its own little space here. So you may have heard the bell when we came in. That rings down here and upstairs, so we know when someone comes in or out. And I guess I'll just kind of pan around here so you can get a look at what it looks like in here.
So that you do not show enmity toward your main brother.
And then we're back again. So when you first come in, we built this counter here, and this is kind of where customers can come and do business with this. And he underneath keeps all of the wires and cables that he sells. And we have this, what is this stuff called, slat wall. So these little hooks just hook into it, and then you can hang things on it, and it can be rearranged. And then just got some candy for the customers, although usually our little guys eat more of it than our customers do. And just stuff he has for sale here. We sell local honey for one of our friends, and so we just keep that here on the counter too, because sometimes people come in just for the honey. We have a sign that tells them we'll be down here in a minute, since there's not somebody in here all the time. We don't want people sitting here wondering what to do. So here next to the door he keeps, as you can see, laptop accessories. And everything here has a little label that we can scan to ring up stuff for people. Here he keeps used computers that he's selling. He buys those like at auctions and things, and then he gets them all fixed up and ready to sell to people. And then just more stuff. I don't even know what half this stuff is. But it's all hanging up over here. One of the blessings about having a smaller room for a business is it doesn't take a lot to fill everything up and feel like we have things. If this was a really big store, we would have to invest a lot more money in inventory to keep it feeling like, you know, it was full. This room is about 13 feet wide by 23, 24 feet, like something like that long. Then over here he has his new laptops for sale. Actually, those are used. Those ones are used. His new one, he just sold it. So yeah, he has laptops on top, and then he builds custom computers for people. So that's what those are. And then underneath is where we put stuff for customers that are fixed and then they need to pick it up. So it just waits under there for people to pick things up. This room was originally our family room. Actually, originally when we bought this house, it was just an empty, wet basement. We turned it into a family room, and then when it became the business, then we kind of moved things around. But we still have the TV in the corner, and then like some of our DVDs and games and things, and then all the game systems are up here on this rack. So that's kind of personal stuff. All of these things are. And then he has bins here to hold all of the things that he uses for doing repairs, which again, I don't know what all that stuff is, but he knows what it all is, so that's all that matters. This TV here is actually hooked to a little switch, so he can have up to 4 computers plugged in at a time right over here on this counter, and then either this monitor or that one works as the monitor for those computers, and he can switch back and forth, so he can be working on a lot of things at once. And he's working on stuff right here, but when we were still doing school, we just started our summer break, but this is where Thomas would sit and actually do his schoolwork so that he could help customers when they came in. So that was actually his kind of school desk, but since we're done for the year, he's got computer stuff going. And there's storage underneath of all these curtains here. We put in little bins and things so that he could store stuff under there.
Hello.
Hi, he caught me making a video in his office. Are you done?
Yes.
Alright.
Go upstairs.
Okay, I'm almost done. This is a separate heating and cooling unit that we have just in this room because the other one just wasn't keeping it cool enough down here, and so yeah, anyways, he just got this separate thing. It vents out that window right there so that it keeps it hot and cold down here. This is his arcade machine that he bought one time when we were on a trip to California. We actually hauled this thing home in a trailer, and he's got like a computer set up in there, so it plays like 2,000 games, and he really enjoys it. It's big and monstrous, but makes him happy. Then this here is the door that goes out to the library room, and it's a pocket door that slides in and out, and it's actually smaller than normal. It's shorter and narrower than a normal door, but you don't really notice. So if you look there, you'll see that there's like 2 lines above that one, but over there it goes all the way to the ceiling because this is a tiny door. Then we have his desk area where he does all of his work. This is a desk that we already had before, so we kind of built the counter in a place to accommodate this desk, although we've been talking about building something smaller eventually, so I don't know how that'll go, but that's what we've got for now. And he uses this board up here to remind him of stuff that he needs to order or orders that he's waiting on. And then this is a little system we came up with. This is where he puts things I need to mail, things like tickets that I need to input, and this is just stuff that needs filed. And then when he comes home with a pocket full of checks and receipts and things, he just drops them in this little bin. So when I'm ready to do paperwork, I can just walk in and grab the stuff that I need and move along. Well, there's a little picture of what our business looks like, and like I said, this is something we've been doing for 11 years now. Tom's the guy that fixes things. I'm the one that keeps track of the money and does all the bookkeeping part of it. So this is our sole source of income. This is how we support our family. And I don't know. I guess that's all. If you have any questions about this room or about how we started our home business and any of those kinds of things, you can just let me know in the comments, and we will talk to you guys again soon.